cheap to park.
Park. Onto that game with Otto. Okay, it is 7 o'clock. We will call this meeting to order. We do have a change to the agenda. Addition. Under closed, you want to make it F?
8. I would actually like to make it 8C and then move the other ones down.
8C? Move the other one? Okay. And
As an operational matter and 29.
and section 29. Okay.
Not 19. Well, it's just then it would be an exact repeat of B.
Number 20.
Not the place.
Sorry to ruin your day. Okay, somebody want to move the adoption of the agenda? So Larry first. All in favor as amended? That is carried. Okay, accounts payable.
Sure, I'll recuse myself.
Yes, of course.
That was a very expensive grate, Larry.
Another Councilor Leepert's gone. Somebody like to move? Councilor Backer? Any questions about it?
Today's tent.
Oh, the rental?
Yeah. What tent was that? The one that we were under? Is that the,
Oh, no, it would have been probably the one that was out front,
the bigger one?
like in front of the town hall there.
And that was our staging on underneath that one. I saw later on that there was staging and audio.
Yeah.
So staging was the one over at the park.
It was the tent that was over top of the main stage, which is our stage.
But staging was ours that was here.
Yes.
The staging that was rented was over at the.
Correct. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the leadership and advocacy camp for 2000, when they sent us a letter for help, I thought we didn't even support them, and yet we're supporting them.
This was through FCSS.
I
Can,
probably figured that, so then it can just be done arbitrarily without, it's okay, if it's within budget, yeah.
do you have any more details?
It's part of our summer camp series. We've got a couple at the senior center. This is a specific leadership camp that's being facilitated through the Grid Guides, but it's through FCS funding.
But they're running it and charging for it, or how does that work?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Okay, and then the Dodge truck with the transmission pan.
9462.
Like, obviously, we don't have big enough tires on them for ground clearance, or what happens? And maybe people should be walking if they don't know what's in front of them.
Which was the unit? Was it not the
Well,
one?
I think it's a pickup.
212.
No, it's too new to be in the landfill. It's a Dodge pickup. Unless we have a Dodge one time, it just says Dodge, it went to the Chrysler dealership for a transmission pan.
It's a 2022 Ram 1500 Classic 4x2 crew cab.
Right. Yeah, it's a standard pickup. That's what I thought it was, because it's just a little bit newer than our fire truck, so it's a whopping almost 2 years old. And I don't think the pan is made out of cardboard, so it didn't just disintegrate it. It was a couple $1,000 if I like bring it.
1781.
17, that's pretty close to a couple $1,000.
Oh, yeah. There's too many of these going on.
Well, there's no reason for anybody to be driving over anything and damaging underparts. Patrick, is this yours?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay, well,
So the description is replace transmission pan, refill transmission fluid, perform transmission, quick learn procedure, and a road test, and replace the speed control switch.
Okay. All right,
That's all I got.
Okay.
well, that's all that would be on the invoice, yeah.
I had a question. Revenue Canada Agency permits. What do we get permits from them for? That is right near the top. It is 86943.
So that's to station. Canada Revenue Agency is
Gotcha.
collecting fees on their behalf.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Not right then.
all right. Okay.
Thought it looked funny. Now it doesn't.
I saw one of their vehicles drive through town the other day, but
Vacation. Any other questions about,
it was not Canada.
oh, any other AP questions? Seeing none, move for information from Bernie. All in favor?
Question Larry's.
That is carried. We can allow Larry back in. Beer, only beer. Wayne's on you next.
Mind you.
Okay, moving on, cash investment summary for information. So on with that. Birds. Any questions about that? Seeing none, all in favor? That is carried. Delegation, Staff Sergeant Cordy to present to us.
Hi, thank you for having me again. This one is longer than normal because I tried to combine both the Q4 and our first quarter. So that's going to cover everything from January until the end of June. But we didn't get those reports yet, so I did them on my own. And so the one things that are missing is the letter for Q1 I don't have yet. And then the statistics, I pulled them up from our common drive, and they do say Q2, but that's just because it's Q2 from the year. Because it's April till June, but they are the Q1 stats fiscal year. So one of the big things that they wanted us to mention is that this year we are starting to roll out our new pistols for the RCMP. We've been using the same pistol since '96, as we said before. And those pistols, they stopped making them. They stopped making parts, and they were kind of starting to manufacture their own parts at depot to fix them, and it just wasn't working. So they did procure a Glock 45 Moss 7 duty pistol, and this pistol is going to come with red dot sights as well as flashlights on them. And that training is actually starting this October for some members at our detachment. It's 4 days of training. So to get everybody through it, they said it's going to take about 3 years to get everybody across the country trained on these new pistols. So you might start seeing some of them come out, and then some of us will still be having the old ones until we get training. They just announced today that on the media that we're getting new color schemes for our vehicles too. So they're going to be more of a black and white vehicle, but it's pretty much a black vehicle with a white wrapping and some different markings to be more modernized with other police services. So with regards to the priorities, so during Q4, under crime reduction property crimes, we had a total of 258 calls for service within the town of Redcliff. So I broke it down. January, we had 78 calls, February 82, March 98. During that quarter, we saw a decrease in all areas of offenses as compared to the same period in 2025. So Total persons crimes were down by 70%. Total property crimes were down by 29%, and other criminal code offenses were down by 43%. So that created a total for all criminal offenses, criminal code complaints and offenses were down by 42% during that quarter. During that period of 2026, there was a 17.5% decrease in total calls for service compared to 2025. And that just kind of goes in waves depending on the weather, and if January, February, March, sometimes our call line does drop. During the first quarter of this year, from April till June, we saw an increase with calls for service, and that's kind of normal with 381 calls. So in April, we had a total of 100 calls in the town. May 120, and June 161. Persons crimes saw an increase of 50%, and I'll get to the statistics a little bit later. Total property crimes saw an increase of 14%, and other criminal code offenses were down by 58%. Total complaints during that period was up by 13% compared to the same time last year. With regards to traffic safety, during the fourth quarter, 27 violation tickets and 12 warnings were issued. During that same period, the Redcliff traffic unit, which though only consists of one member, but they wrote 68 tickets and 1 warning. And also during that time, we had 1 immediate roadside sanction suspension for alcohol-related offenses, and that vehicle was seized for 30 days. During that quarter as well, just kind of go with proactive traffic. The Redcliff detachment had 2 hard vacancies, 4 soft vacancies, and 1 member that was working administrative duties. And the Redcliff traffic unit still had 4 hard vacancies, and they're still not filled yet, and 1 member working. During the first quarter, there were 36 violation tickets issued and 48 warnings issued by members of the Redcliff detachment. And during that same period, the Redcliff traffic unit, the 1 member wrote 98 violations and 1 warning. Redcliff detachment during that time issued 5 immediate roadside sanctions for alcohol and drug-related impairment, and the vehicles were seized. And also during that time, we still had 2 hard vacancies, 3 soft vacancies, 1 member working, and 4 hard vacancies in the traffic unit. And I'll get to the vacancy when we get to that section later. With regards to police visibility and community engagement, these kind of mix with both the county and Redcliff, but we did have, unfortunately, are the only person that's trained in their program. They've been still off duty with that, and we have made some visits to the schools and into schools here that I'll detail in the report next. But we don't have any formal program that we're following yet. So to start it off, just some of the kind of topics that lead to consultations. In February 4th, I forwarded letters kind of to all the elected officials and employees, kind of asking to canvass their constituents to see about any priorities that they may have. On February 26th, we did some meetings with myself, Shannon, and other employees, and we were kind of coming up with that idea to do the survey for the leasing priorities and enforcement priorities. Just some other meetings that I went to. There was an emergency management meeting. I'm on the Criminal Justice Advisory Committee for Medicine at College as well. We did participate in the emergency management tabletop exercise here with the town on March 20th, and the parade in town for the Redcliff Grizzlies. That was one of the community events. We did meet with the Alberta Conservation Officers on March 23rd. They kind of let us know about some kind of expanding roles that they have. They don't just patrol and kind of enforce stuff within the provincial parks. They cover all the public areas, anywhere. So if we have issues that could be in county, but they're public lands, then they can come and help us out with their different resources. So that was good to know. Yeah, March 23rd, I was here updating council. April 1st, the survey went out, or I think it ran over 2 weeks and ended April 1st. And they did receive 175 responses, which was really good. And it did give us quite a bit of information, especially for me to create the community priorities plan, which I'm still in the process of creating. The priorities are there, but I have not put in all the kind of ideas that we're going to do to fulfill them yet. We did have some law enforcement torch run meetings. For those that don't know, obviously the Special Olympics are in Medicine Hat in Cypress County area this August, and there is going to be, they want to do a torch run through the town of Redcliff in August as well, the day before the opening ceremonies. So we're in the planning process for that as well. We had some other meetings with here at the town on May 21st and 22nd. 21st, I attended IF Cox School. We did during their safety days. We present for the kindergarten grade 3s. You kind of just set up the police vehicle and chatted with them about safety and let them go through it. With Margaret Wooding School on the 22nd, I gave a presentation pretty much to every single class that was there on online safety, and that was well received. Some other community events, the assisted search and rescue with the dunk tank down at the Medicine Hat Police versus Medicine Hat Fire slow pitch game. They were there. We hosted a first kind of coffee with a cop at the Redcliff Library on May 28th. It wasn't that well attended, but those who did attend, we did get some good information. We were able to assist them with some of their issues that they had. And most of the ones that were there that spoke, we actually resolved all their issues that they were dealing with, or their issues got resolved anyway. So they were pretty happy with that. We had some other emergency management meetings. I attended Decoration Day here in Medicine Hat as well as here in Redcliff. And we assisted with the bike rodeo during Redcliff Days on June 19th. So despite our resourcing issues, we were able to kind of get out and help with a lot of some public events. So with regards to resourcing, Redcliff Municipal Detachment has a total establishment of 8 members. Right now we have 6 working, 2 are in temporary absences, and we don't have any hard vacancies for the town. So on paper, we have all 8 members. However, in the 4th quarter, we were operating for the whole detachment, both municipal and provincial, at a 47% vacancy rate. And during that time, we had our reservist program, the relief unit, and other Redcliff detachment members that could come in and work overtime to make sure that all the shifts were filled. But due to that, some areas of the proactive enforcement and community events were scaled back a little bit. During that quarter, we also received 2 new cadets from Depot. And then in Q1, we ended up having 2 resignations. So it kind of canceled each other out. So we took 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And right now we're still dealing with, as a total detachment, 2 hard vacancies, 3 soft vacancies, 1 administrative duty. So it represents 50% of our constable rank. So we have myself, we're still working as a staff sergeant, my 2 corporals, and 6 constables total. So we're still struggling in the resource department, and we're trying to make it work. With regards to some of the financial stuff, as you can see in there, there's 6.4 full-time equivalents. So even though I guess the numbers that we're supposed to have are 8, the town only gets charged for 6.4 because we do have those vacancies, and then there's some pooling costs. So it reduces the cost to the town when the members aren't working. Or get put on a medical pool later, because that way that's where the cost sharing comes with the whole product. And to go to some of the statistics. for Q2 one, that would be kind of April to June. But where we saw a 50% increase, that increase came in uttering threats complaints. Almost everything else was down, but we had a 267% increase in uttering threat complaints. So that's what brought that number up. When we look at mischief damage to property, that went up by 125%, even though, and then everything else was pretty much down or stayed the same. So that kind of created a 14% increase. And despite other criminal code having they were down, like disturbance type calls that we had were down 78%. And that kind of caused everything to go down to about 35% toward other criminal codes. So it fluctuates with time and with depending on the weather, what's going on in town or elsewhere. For Q4, with everything being down, it's when you look at it, there was 100% decrease in robbery offenses. Not that we got a lot, so it went from 1 to 0. Assault investigations went from in 2025 from 12 down to 3, so that's a 75% decrease. Criminal harassment cases went from 4 to 0, so that's where that really went down to 70% overall. If we look at other things, the theft of motor vehicle during that quarter was up by 67%. We had a few vehicles that were stolen, but everything else in that kind of property crime area was down by significant amounts. So that led to an overall 29% decrease. And again, during there, disturbing the peace and failed to comply with breaches, they were down as well. So that increased 43%. So overall, the crime severity index and ratings are still very low compared to the provincial levels here in Redcliff, but we still have some work to be done with property crimes and kind of catching those criminals that are out there doing those things. Any questions?
Yeah.
So can I ask a question that's not related to your report? Okay, e-bikes and worse than e-bikes, because I was reading the provincial definition of power bike has pedals that work, right? Now, what about all the people that have these dirt bike looking apparatuses that are electric, and I think they go relatively fast and they have enough power to spin tires and they're running around town?
Those ones, I was going to kind of put together a little package to put out on our Facebook page and see who else wanted to share it as well. But an e-bike has to have the pedals, and the speeds are not supposed to be able to go any higher than 32 kilometers an hour. Any type of those motorized things. Those dirt bike ones that you're seeing that can go about 60, sometimes 70 kilometers an hour, they're fully electric. Those are completely illegal and not allowed on any roads or sidewalks. They're pretty much allowed on your private property if you want to go have them, but they cannot. You can't even take them and go ride somewhere off-road. That's not your property. Right?
Well, that's what I was reading, but I see them. And then I also see it also, what I was reading was helmets are mandatory on e-bikes. After you have to be 12 years old to ride one, and then helmets are mandatory.
There's certain rules for different things, and the technology is kind of advancing so fast that the charts that they give us with the laws don't keep up with them. And yeah, that's.
Well, I also see a certain group that just don't wear helmets, period. And they're out there.
Yeah, pretty much if you're on an e-bike and you're under 18, you're supposed to have a helmet, even a bicycle. So
yeah, even bikes are till 18, right? Yeah, I see it all the time, and I'm just wondering, like, is that something that is enforceable by any means?
it is enforceable, and that's even when we do the bike rodeos in the summer.
I
It's
know,
surprising how
I
many
know you
helmets
try to tell
hand out
them.
to people.
Yes.
They come with no helmets. Here's a helmet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is difficult because then you have to get the parents involved, and sometimes they may not be able to afford a helmet. If we give them a helmet through some of the grants that they have, that's good. We maybe might not want to try to go first step enforcement, but if we can educate, that would be better. But yes, there is avenues to enforce those, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're seeing them on our paths too.
Well, we did put out a Facebook post about that. I don't think those particular people are reading Town of Redcliff Facebook posts, so.
But we have had recently several people come to our detachment. That's where I keep downloading the information, and every time it seems like I go to get something new, there's something new added to it. So it's even hard to keep up with. But definitely those ones that look like dirt bikes and have no pedals and they're pure electric, those are 100% new.
Yeah, they're supposed to be on a farm. You can ride them on your personal farm. Yeah.
Like I've seen kids ride this dirt bike.
Sometimes I think it's,
4 or 5 that go
Yeah.
behind my house.
So I've seen them and
sometimes I think it's the parents that just don't know and get them, and they might not even know how fast they go, and then the next thing their kids are flying down the road or the sidewalk.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or the kid just wants it really badly and parents just want to make the kid happy.
But that is one thing that's been on our radar to kind of educate a little bit more about.
Yeah, it's gonna become more and more of a problem for sure. Looking at it a bit here.
well, I think Medicine Hat had a bike car incident, right?
I think they've had a few recently.
Yeah. We haven't had anything for a long time that I know of. And that was actually, the last I remember, it was actually a real pedal bike, but wasn't following the rules. Like riding on the sidewalk with a full-size bike is
Yeah.
not legal, and running through intersections is not legal.
But same thing, like
They think
It's
they're
hard to-
pedestrians on a bike.
to give tickets even to people under the age of 16 is, you can't do that. It's gotta be a long form summons and summons them to court. So that's other things that we have to work with.
There you go. See, I didn't know that. Okay,
Because they're still considered children, I guess, so you can. Even though they can drive cars and,
yeah, I used to get tickets when I was 16. What's up?
well, 16, they can.
I
they can
want
get
back.
16.
I've seen you drive, I believe it.
Money back.
But yeah, it's a little bit of both of enforcement and education that we need to pick up.
Any more questions?
And even educating our own officers, because some of them don't, like, they're not keeping up on how fast technology is changing too. So they might see it and say, yeah, that's wrong, but I don't know where it is.
Put it in with the pistol training. Put it in with
Yeah.
pistol training.
Everybody wants that.
4 days.
Thank you.
Thank you. Somebody want to move that for information? Heard Larry first.
Oh,
Councilor Leeper?
Councilor Lieber, yeah. All in favor? That is carried. Royal Canadian Legion delegation.
Hey, everyone. Thank you for having me here today to represent the 100th Anniversary Committee and the Redcliff Legion. I believe you have the PowerPoint. So this year on October 19th is the actual 100th anniversary of the Redcliff Legion. We'd like to come to the council to help us with a proposal to assist with our Centennial Legacy Project. Next page, please. So in 1919, after the war ended on November 11th in 1918, soldiers started to come home. They soon decided that they needed an organization and a place where they could talk about their experiences, get together, and just support each other. In 1925, they became a local branch of the Great War Veterans Association. And in 1926, this organization passed out of existence and they formed the Redcliff branch Canadian Legion of the British Empire Services League. The Redcliff Legion was the 6th branch incorporated in the Alberta Northwest Territories region, and it has thrived for several years. This allowed the branch to help the community with contributions. They built the Memorial Manor and ran it for several years. The Field of Honor and awards and donations to schools, hospitals, local parks, and sports teams. The current years at the Redcliff Legion have not seen profits as previous years due to loss of membership, volunteers, and community support. This has not deterred us, and we are going to continue to push forward with the celebrating of the 100th anniversary of services. Three improvements that show our continued commitment to the Redcliff and area community are the mural revitalization, the memorial crosswalk, and the veterans banners. So restoring a landmark celebrating Redcliff's history and creating a destination for residents and visitors. The artist known as Geo was commissioned in 2005 to paint the original mural that still hangs on the north side of the Redcliff Legion. Over the years, there have been touch-ups to the mural. However, due to rotting wood, peeling paint, the mural needs to be completely revised. Geo has presented to revise the mural on 3mm Dipond aluminum sheets with a complete dimension of 40 feet by 8 feet, and this will ensure the longevity of the mural. The entire investment is $10,000, and Geo will be donating his wages. The Memorial Crosswalk is a tribute to honor veterans while enhancing the downtown streetscape. In celebration of our 100th year in service to our veterans, their families, and our community, a crosswalk painted to honor our veterans and their services would be a fitting tribute. The crosswalk would be black and white with thicker cross lines and soldier silhouettes crossing the street. Our first option would be to have all 4 crosswalks completed at the 4-way stop on Broadway Avenue. This would highlight the Redcliff Legion and the corner. Our second option would be 2 crosswalks, one at the corner of Broadway and 3rd Street, and the other at 3rd Street and 1st Avenue. The third option would be 1 crosswalk at 3rd Street and 1st Avenue. This investment would be approximately $1,500. So the veterans banners would be seasonal banners that would be recognizing veterans and strengthening community pride. The banners would be hung on 4 to 6 light standards on the 4-way stop on Broadway and down to Memorial Park on 3rd Street and 1st Avenue. Locally sourced two-sided banners made of vinyl would last a minimum of 2 years and would be 24 by 60 inches. With pole pockets on top and bottom and grommets for attachment to the pole brackets. Initial hanging would occur before the 100th anniversary and be replaced in correspondence with the hanging and removal of the Christmas lights. So it wouldn't be anything extra on an ongoing basis. The investment would be anywhere from $1,800 to $2,300. The total project cost, with the mural being the most important part of the project, comes to a total of $13,800. The Redcliff Legion is selling the memorial specifically, or memorial, I can't say that word today, memorabilia specifically for the 100th anniversary. So we have coins, we have historical books, bricks with plaques, polo shirts, and special labeled beer cans that you can drink at the Legion, and take the empty home with you if you like. However, we have not been able to raise enough funds to fulfill the legacy project, and I'm hoping for sponsorship from the town of Redcliff Council. With the council's partnership, these projects will leave a permanent legacy for future generations while recognizing the 100 years of service to Redcliff. Thank you. Are there any questions?
I got a question, small.
Okay.
The mural you said was $10,000 and Geo's donating his time.
Yes.
I meant to go back and look at your first proposal. I forget how that was broken down. So is it $10,000 over and above his time?
Yes, it's $10,000 for material.
Okay, gotcha. And then the crosswalk you got is $1,500, but there's several different options, one being 4 of them.
Yes.
So
It's a minor change for the amount of paint, and then the Legion would offer to assist to help paint and that kind of thing as well.
okay, so going with lesser options wouldn't change the budget on that too
No.
much.
not significantly.
Through the chair, how much has the Legion raised for this thus far?
So far, we have raised with everything, we are sitting at an income of about $5,000. So we have about $5,000 in our account right now. We do have a few outstanding bills. Budget wise, we are looking at, if everything goes well, we're hoping that we'll make about $25,000 to $27,000 in revenue. And including the cost for this, we're short about the cost of the mural in raising funds.
And that raising funds to get up to that 25 grand, I remember you had a dinner. So is that including the proceeds from the dinner and the liquor sales from that dinner as well, or
We
where do those
can't,
proceeds come from, I guess?
we can't include the liquor sales because that belongs to the Legion. The banquet itself is going to be funded. Basically, it costs you $50 for a plate. And that's how much we're gonna put into it. So basically, it's gonna be a zero balance for the banquet.
Oh, I see. There's no profit margin in the
No
$50.
profit at all for the banquet.
Other questions? Go ahead.
I just know we've talked about the crosswalk before. I'm just curious. I can't really remember.
As far as I remember, I think we were more leaning towards by the park. Is that?
It was the one.
Yeah.
Third
I
option.
think.
Third option, I think, was kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And Cody and Alicia have had a few conversations with the Legion, so they may be able to add additional detail.
We felt that the four-way stop on Broadway is gonna be a higher traffic area, so we had some issues in Medicine Hat, people doing burnouts and things like that. The option two with the Legion across and then the other one on, First Avenue, we thought was very doable. A little hesitant to do it on Broadway just because we don't want it to get ripped up. But the Legion still like that idea. It's very visible, it's very, it'll be the most costly and the most time consuming for us to do. The other two should be, there's less traffic area, it should be easier for us to assist with, less paint too.
Go ahead, Lee.
What would your hopes be for a donation from the town? What amount were you?
Well, we were asked to give our wish list, so this is our wish list of the 13,000. 13,000 would be our wish list. The mural to us is the most important thing.
So I guess, go ahead, Matt was up first.
Councilor Kirkpatrick says you go first.
Oh, okay. This is more so for administration. If we were to fund any of this, where would this come from?
The account that you have set aside just for donations of these types is 3,700 remaining.
We start with 5K, right?
Yes.
We gave 1,300 to, well, we gave some to Special Olympics.
There was.
752 Special Olympics and 500 to the softball slippage track.
Right.
Baseball.
Yeah, there was two. Yeah.
Did you have something?
Yeah. Well, it's just, when they were talking about, putting painted sidewalk across Broadway and Third, I totally understand anything crossing Broadway wouldn't last long. Like, not the way people drive off those four-way stops. It is possible though, if they wanted to put up more than one, if you were to go from one, say from the Legion to go west towards who's on Third, that isn't as bad. The traffic isn't as bad. And certainly by the time you get the block away, it does. Once people do the post office, they turn and go somewhere else. So that would probably at least last a while up that far. If you were doing across Third, or it might last, but I can't see anything lasting across Broadway. even our lines are gone already.
And with that in mind, I think it'd be kind of nice to attach the two so you can walk to get over to the memorial.
Not have us walk down.
Yeah, so cross who's on third, go up the sidewalk, and then you can cross it again, so that way it's,
Cross into the park,
yeah,
Yeah,
from the post office into the park. And that way, though, if you did those two, you would be using the Legion crosswalk twice, right? To
And I
get
think
to the
that's,
park.
is that the path that they take for the Remembrance Day?
so I think
coming-
that makes a lot of sense.
Usually we used to go up second, right?
Yeah, you go up seconds.
Yeah, they make us walk. Carol.
Yeah, you go up.
Isn't that cold?
Well, depends. Sometimes it is
Or couple
cold.
thirst.
They come back that way.
They come back that way?
Yeah, usually everybody shortcuts back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it has some symmetry to it anyways, but just an idea.
Yeah, that would be another option as well.
But like I say, that just, I don't see that getting as ripped up as something crossing Broadway.
And if we put it down once, we gotta maintain it. If it gets ripped up, we gotta do it again, which is fine.
And we would, donate our resources as well. We'd have volunteers to help with the painting and that.
How long would they figure that, do you guys have a time frame like for the new mural? How long that would last? Yeah,
The new
Life
mural,
expectancy on-
probably 20 years on that
Well,
steel.
the old ones lasted longer than that, right?
It had
Touched
to
up
be-
though.
it had to be touched up a couple of times and it's looking pretty.
Oh,
rough right
when you
now.
get right up close, it's a bit rough, but from across the street, you don't think it's bad. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, and we want to kind of change up the mural a little bit to signify the 100th anniversary and kind of go throughout the century, where we started and where we are today. A little bit of a history lesson.
Yeah, through the chair.
Go ahead.
It's also kind of tough to compare a regular crosswalk paint job to one of these paint jobs. We just put off on one thin coat of paint. So we do it every year. So we just blow on the coat of paint just to take more effort, better paint and probably more coats of paint. So this would definitely last longer than just a regular crosswalk would.
I just don't see those intersections getting us tore up.
So those are the right ones to do.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
$8 a gallon, people still leave in a hurry.
Yeah.
$8 a gallon. Did you buy paint last?
Yes.
Do you have something?
Road paint's $160 for 5 gallons.
Sorry, go ahead.
When we provided these amounts to the Legion, we did factor in staff time. If the council is in favor in donating the staff time, you would see a cost reduction in the sidewalks. We could probably do them for around 700, just for paint and supplies.
Gotcha.
Sure.
Go ahead.
There was talk about special paint. That you had to order special paint. What was that all about? Does anybody remember that?
It's a reflective paint, is it not?
No, so we reached out to the city of Medicine Hat and they kind of told us what to do, what not to do. But they used a red water-based paint. That's kind of why it went away so quickly. We would use more of an acrylic.
I think when they did theirs, it was more for a one-off for the 1 day
Yeah, okay.
presentation, maybe one month.
Yeah, we
And
don't
more
want
than
that.
reflective, you just talk.
Yeah, we're done, something more permanent.
Yeah.
Just add on products.
There's no more questions. Is there any motion?
Receive information.
That would be a motion. And then direct
Yes.
council, direct administration to,
Whether or not you want us to bring it back or if there's some other decision.
Well, so what is the timelines? If, were you thinking some of this stuff would be hopefully done before October?
Yes.
See? So we can't just keep referring things to admin.
We do that too
Yeah.
often too. We get, I guess, building.
Ideally, if the mural would be done and the crosswalk's done for our 100th anniversary, maybe a couple weeks prior at the latest.
How much do you make on a can of beer?
How much do I make on a can of beers?
Yeah. Like, because I didn't even take the cans home. I'm like, wow.
Is it
But-
worth 5 cents if you take it home?
Well, no, well, like, okay, I guess I left it there. It's worth 10 cents. But, no, just wondering. Okay,
I'm assuming the cans are just done by Bruco and
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the one.
Go,
they're
yeah.
just Mesnat Brew Company and they just made up a
Made
label
up a label,
and
it's
and a
our,
whole story on it.
yeah, it's our typical Legion lager with the story on it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'll make a motion.
go right ahead.
So I'll make a motion that we receive Simone's presentation for information. And we find $5,000 in accumulated surplus to donate towards the mural.
Only the mural?
Well,
That's the priority.
that's the priority. So
But-
that's half the mural.
I think our dollar would go farther if we do the crosswalk, because we can kind of do some of that in-house.
I think the mural will be up for 20 years, and if the town also benefits from it being there.
Because they might have sold $700 worth of beer.
Well,
Get a,
they might have sold $700 worth of beer, but they're not gonna get the crosswalks for $700 unless we do it,
and they help.
and they help. So I would say put $5,000 towards the crosswalk and mural. Because if we just do it for the mural, then we're not doing the crosswalk, correct? And then they're gonna have to get Fournier's to come out and paint it at a profit.
If there's a donation for $5,000, would it not be like you guys could allocate that however you guys want it within these three?
Well, if we're telling them it's for the mural,
It's for the mural then, but if we just gave the 5,000 towards your
So you want me to
38,
withdraw to the mural?
Yeah.
I don't want you to do anything. I would,
We would allocate it. Of course, the mural would be our top priority, but it would allow us to get started on the mural.
but if you got 10,700 total and we never restricted our money, you could do both. Whereas if we restrict our money,
Yeah.
you need
Well, no,
11,500.
Chris math.
uh,
Okay, I'll take the mural part out of my motion. Just donate $5,000 from accumulated surplus. Towards the project.
you guys have any big fundraisers coming up before October?
I'm sorry.
Do you guys have any big fundraisers coming up before October?
Nothing real big in the works right now. We are doing tournaments, but it's probably gonna be more of a wash than anything. It's more of a community kind of event to bring people in. So we're doing dart tournaments, pool tournaments, and we're having a trivia night. So we might make a little bit off of it, but
Depends how much Dwight drinks.
yeah. Only if they buy our beer. So anybody who comes to the
At least,
meeting,
yeah.
buy our
Leave it,
100
yeah.
anniversary beer in a can.
I even put the tab in the tap jar.
Yeah, the coins, yeah, we're still selling coins and the bricks and plaques and the anniversary books. So we do have those, which we have paid for. So anything more is, it'll increase our bank account a little bit, but we are still at a deficit because we paid out more than we've taken in so far.
How many coins do you have left?
We have about 200, no, 200 and, I want to say 210 left.
You bought 300?
We bought 300, yeah. Some of them we're going to give away to, like for the tournaments and stuff as prizes, so. Sorry? We make the most on the plaques. Yeah, we make the most on the plaques.
So, have you posted any of this like on social media, just in this curiosity's sake, because
Yeah.
we might check, so,
Yeah, it was
In there.
posted,
okay.
yeah.
I'll check.
And I'm gonna post again. We do have the plaques. The first 30 plaques are put up on the walls now, so people can see what they look like. So I'm gonna do a poster and get that on social media, hoping to get more traction that way.
Where are those plaques going? On,
Sorry,
are they going on the building or?
they're going on the inside there. We built a mini stage And so the walls are of brick and we're putting them on there.
Any other questions?
Just to confirm the motion, is this an additional 5,000 that's not budgeted, or you want to use the 3750 and then additional?
Well,
1250?
I didn't really want to take the 37, but I guess it's already July, this is month 7. I just thought if we were gonna try to pull it from accumulated surplus, operational surplus, that other money could just sit there.
Okay, no, that's fine.
I did say surplus
I
first.
did, yeah.
So take 3750 from that fund and then 1250 from surplus. Nope.
I think it's no. Make it 5,000 hours accumulated surplus.
What did you decide?
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Right out of accumulated,
Okay,
all of it.
okay.
Didn't touch 3,700 in the line
We're leaving the 37
We'll leave.
still available.
Okay,
in community.
very well. Okay, any other questions or comments? All in favor? That is carried. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to minutes. Council minutes from June 22nd for adoption. Any errors or omissions in that? Seeing none, all in favor? That is carried. Special council meeting from June 30th, 2026 for adoption. Not. Any errors or omissions on that? I doubt it. All in favor? That is carried. Redcliff Cypress Regional Waste Management Authority meeting. Information.
The special one is first.
Yes. I missed special, I'm sorry.
Yes, you did.
Larry moved that one, no? Okay, any errors or omissions in that? Seeing none, all in favor? Yep. The Redcliff Cypress Regional Waste Management Authority meeting? Any errors or omissions in that one? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Redcliff Library Board. Any errors or omissions there?
All good.
All good? Okay, all in favor? That is carried. And the next library board meeting from May 19th. Bernie again.
Hopefully.
And I'm assuming no errors or omissions. Okay, all in favor? That is carried. Request for decisions, parking options for 1475 Highway Avenue Southeast. Otherwise known in front of Tim Hortons.
I'll move option.
Option 2.
I'd like to add something to that motion. That we actually start giving them tickets instead of education. Because why should the taxpayers be buying bigger signs and redoing all of this when they get a warning and they go, oh geez, I'm sorry, sir, and they drive away? Like if they got some tickets, honestly, that is what will make the radio.
That's good education.
They will tell their friends if they get tickets. They will not tell their friends if they get warnings. And then maybe the tickets can buy bigger signs instead of taxpayers.
Are you seeing any repeat offenders out there?
Never.
The tractor trailers and their transients, so it's different.
Right.
But they use the Trans-Canada Highway. They come back.
They're on the phone all the time. They be talking.
They gotta be.
Yeah, like if somebody got fined, they would tell them that, they may have to pay attention. Because a road sign is a road sign. I get tickets when I don't obey that one little sign that says 110 in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But other signs are like, they don't mean nothing.
That's true. So, yeah, go ahead. Come on.
So from my perspective of it, when I go there and I issue a warning, they're on the system then, and if they are seen after the first education, I do give them, gave them that warning. If it's the second time, I will issue a ticket if it's a repeat offender, and I am not getting any repeat offenders from This was first acknowledged that we had the issue there. So it is verbal warnings right now, and that is part of my verbal warning. Is if you are now on the system, I do see you on the system, come again, it will be a fine.
Okay. And by in the system, you're not just talking a company truck, you're talking a legitimate person?
Yes, so I do take their identification and then I take their driver's license details, put it in our Omnigo report system. And then if it comes up and flags again, it'll come up and then I'll go, okay, we've had this conversation before. It's now initiated as a ticket for the second time.
No, if you're actually documenting, it's just, this has been going on forever and probably through 4 different bylaw guys, and
Yeah.
there's just no way those guys are always different.
And speaking with Cody, we're trying to come up with a better program as well for MRF, which will help process the ticket process a lot easier than what we're utilising right now. Because it's just now basically it's a part 2, part 3 ticket, depending on what it is. I send it to our lawyer, but the MRF system I can put it straight on the computer and it goes straight to the Crown, where it could be a cost saving because right now if I give a $75 ticket and the guy
And lawyer charges you $150,
plus some.
hell of a deal. Yeah.
So hopefully this MRF system would be, for a budget for next year, maybe would be a better option for the town to move forward.
Through the chair, how many warnings have you been giving? Like I can't drive past there daily and not see somebody parked in front of it. So I'm just wondering how many warnings are being given?
Yeah, I guess it's time for me. I can try and do it in the morning or an hour or 2 in the afternoon, depending on what my day is. I can averagely say probably about 3 a week warnings I'm giving.
Yeah, I'm not asking you to sit there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, it's usually about 3 warnings a week.
Okay.
I am trying to make it a daily thing, depending what's going on, an hour here and an hour there in the morning or afternoon.
Okay, no, thank you.
Go ahead, Matt.
Curiosity sake, these warnings that you give, is that information available to like Staff Sergeant Cordy, or is it just available to you guys?
It's just on our report system for Omega. They have a different reporting system.
Just like it, one of his members about them. Saw that you guys gave him a warning. I wasn't sure if they were able to see that information.
No, I don't know.
Another question.
Yeah.
Do you get many motor vehicle collisions or any road rage complaints out there?
Not from.
So I'm thinking that Tim Hortons traffic is what it is, and that sort of stuff out. Why put any effort into it? Because you're never going to win this battle. Like it's just sort of self-places itself, right? So
Yes.
there's no win in the ticketing game. So why just misdirected effort even to do that?
What do you mean? Sorry, I'm just curious.
Well, if you're going to go buy a coffee, you're going to go and get a coffee. You're going to leave. You're going to get your coffee.
Yeah.
Now if you have to go around the truck, you're going to go around the truck. But if you're going to write a $75 ticket, it's going to cost us $300 to enforce this thing.
Yeah.
Is that really worth the fight?
I see your
When
point.
there's no collisions, there's no road rages, there's no social media anger is one thing, but there's no really incidences that this is causing. So how much effort do you want to put into something that really has no net win to it?
But us as council, we identified it as a priority that we
Yeah.
wanted to assess this year.
Because burning, like me personally, like I said, it's 5:30 in the morning, driving out of there, and there was a truck here. I literally have to pull right out into the middle of the road to see if any cars coming. Right, and then like I said, there's been one incident for sure that I've seen personally where a truck was blocking that exit for Tim. So yeah, drive all the way around to get out. Right, like it's just if we can.
I get the frustrations for sure.
And they're so willing to park on the wrong side of the street.
Yeah.
So, but Staff Sergeant Cordy had some ideas on this.
Oh, is that why you're still here?
Yeah.
Well, I did come up with an idea, but I didn't have any backing to it. I have no knowledge. I have no statistics. But to get them to come in one direction only, made all the roads around Tim Hortons, not Broadway, but coming in off of Highway 1, if it was a one-way going up to Broadway, then they got to come in one way. They're not going to come back the other way. It's a one-way street. No, do not enter. And then Broadway could stay 2 lanes, and then people that are coming eastbound on the highway, if they come in by the Burger King, then that's a one-way going from Burger King towards Tim Hortons. then they can get back on the highway down
Good
at,
idea. So one step further, you can actually close off the three-way stop, don't let them off the highway going west, and make them go to the light, and they all can do the one-way.
yeah, like it's just
Like
one way going
right
this way, one way going that way, and then you'd have to still put no parking signs, because you will get people parking on both sides of the road, but my thought was if they're coming in, it's a one-way road, parking can be on the right-hand side, and it leaves that whole left side plus importance where people can enter and exit without any problems. And then same thing when you're coming off of Highway 1, the right side is where the trucks can park, the left side would be open for people to enter and exit, because there are no exits or entrances on that right side of the road.
So a couple do not enter signs right at that one entrance off the highway. Yeah.
Off the highway, you can't turn left when you get off the highway and continue through, you go around. You go, might
Right,
be
or you go straight. But
like
that's
a
it.
little inconvenient for some of the businesses that are right there, that it's a shorter route, but you could just go down the highway a few more meters and then turn in the right way, so. It just allows for all that type of traffic, but like I said, I don't have any statistics or any backing for it. It was just when the plan was sent to me, I'm like, what about this? It's not a bad idea.
No, I like that idea. Good for you.
My mind, that might be too drastic for the businesses there.
It would be like throwing a traffic circle somewhere.
No.
So we recommend a
Roundabout. RCMP recommends roundabouts.
They're easy.
I think we should just go with option number 2 and just carry on, because I don't think this is a battle we want to keep everybody out of town and this and that.
We don't
I
want to
know
keep them
it's
out of town.
it's a pain, but it just doesn't seem to be this big an issue.
There's no win.
And that's why I like this motion too, is because it says here, and to monitor effectiveness of these approvals before considering additional traffic control measures like making it a one-way.
Yeah, and I agree with Larry. I mean, this isn't the end all be all. It's, if we continue to see problems, we want to address it more, we can.
So how big are these signs supposed to be? Because the other ones don't work.
That was my next question.
Well,
I think,
I think more so the pavement markings are going to be helpful.
see,
In the winter,
that's, yeah, so in the winter, the pavement markings are not effective, and even these people to the signs, I mean, we've seen how many people park on the wrong side of the road. Well, that doesn't change anywhere you go, right? So it's just a matter of them not caring, right?
Well, I think they
How
just
much
want
money are we
to,
willing to throw at that?
they want to patronize one of our businesses, and there's no parking there, unfortunately. When they developed the Tim Hortons, they should have maybe thought that a little better and had parking for these people.
Well, that co-op gas station has a huge parking lot that they could all park their big trucks and walk out the block, but they're too lazy and they don't want to do that, right?
Out of sight, so they don't think of it.
Well, they may get pushback from that as well. I've seen some of them walk across the ditch and go to Tim Hortons, and I don't think that's safe either, parking that rig on the highway.
That's all.
right at the end of the merge lane.
Yeah.
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 You're looking back over your shoulder. Schmuck.
I don't know if there's an answer to this.
I do think if we're going to put money into it, we shouldn't do the same thing that we have done. Like, I don't think we should upgrade these signs into just newer signs or just repainting. Like, we should do what we've done with the stop signs that people have complained about so much, where it just has the LED flashing lights around the sign, put a no parking one right where the no parking starts. Right where that yellow curve is starting, the paint starts, put that flashing sign right there. I mean, that's the most you could do, and the cost for maintaining that should be very little. We shouldn't have to be repainting it or.
Just the initial cost of
It's
those
just
signs.
an initial cost, right?
That could be something to budget down perhaps. Did it make flashing no parking signs?
Don't make flash.
They can make anything flash.
Yeah.
And the solar as well.
Fox will build you signs, right? Anybody makes them. They're just sticky paper on aluminum. So, I suppose.
With LEDs, yeah.
And a solar battery.
Okay, well,
Not made a motion.
Matt made a motion, option 2.
And you made a friendly amendment.
So
Who does not know? I did not.
Kind of
Well,
rescinded it.
Okay.
I
so
got
with this option 2, though, what are the signs that are included in this option? Just regular, or is the enhanced, is that with LED lighting?
enhanced signage and pavement markings.
The current signs that are there are about this big by this big, like the regulatory signs, which are about 4 by 7. The other issue is that a lot of the signs aren't facing traffic. They've been hit over the years and a lot of the poles are bent. So you don't really see no parking sign until you are looking this direction. So we're gonna try to fix some of that as well.
And according to the sign bylaw, some of those non-parking signs have been removed for years if you go back at Google Earth. So we would put those back in and just continue along.
Visibility is a major thing there, for sure.
So maybe a better word here is modernize the signs.
Yeah, like, can I make this Matt's motion?
Yeah.
I make a friendly amendment to your motion for the signage, or would you like to do two separate motions?
Depends what you're asking.
What do you want? You
Yeah.
want flashing?
Yeah, it's pretty well the suggested motion too. I would just be making the amendment that enhanced no parking signage would be LED lighted no parking signage.
Well, that would still fit in enhanced sign.
Enhanced is the current.
Yeah.
That just, like, in my opinion, that you're just giving them more ideas direction to bring it direction. Under that intent, so that's my opinion.
That might come back to us in budget.
We don't make the amendment because we don't want the same metal signs that go on the poles that they've always been on. We want a new sign in a new spot that lights up.
But there's many signs there. If you drive down that street, there must be 10 no parking signs. And for a long time, somebody put them up flat with the roadway, so you didn't see them till you were driving by them, which was, I thought, odd. I mean, I know they were there, but I'm going, see why somebody wouldn't see those. But then I've seen truckers take out streetlights. So, like, what does it matter?
According to our construction design standards, they are supposed to be.
Yeah, that would be nice,
Yes.
because that, you'd see them as you're going towards them, not out your passenger window. But anyway,
So with the LED, if you go with LED, just so you know that there will be an increased cost.
Yeah, I think it would be about $2,500 per sign, I think.
That's what we did on Broadway.
well, I wouldn't go hairy with all of those. Otherwise, we won't be the stop sign capital of Canada, we'll be the
No
blinky
parking.
light sign. I don't mind putting up one, like coming or going, because then at 5 o'clock in the morning in a winter day, you can't say, oh, I didn't see it.
Yep.
Cause it'll be
And I-
blinking. But
And
during the day, nothing matters. If you're not gonna see it, you're not gonna see it.
bigger signs,
Yeah,
like, instead of just those little tiny.
I would say try a couple, but it's really 15 times.
It's not the exit that's by the code.
Sometimes.
It's the exit that's coming up facing the highway.
That, the north side of, mostly, north side where those businesses are, like west of Tim's too. So,
We do have some rough costs.
We will not for the parking and flashing signs, but for the flashing stop signs on Broadway, they were roughly 7,900, and then the pedestrian signage was 9,700.
They're not cheap.
Full standard
Yeah.
lights as well.
Yes.
So 9,700 for the stop signs.
79.
That was for all four,
right?
right? Four, so that's like.
I think we did two,
Those
Oh, two, yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
two.
only
Yeah,
on
we didn't
Broadway.
do,
so 3,900 apiece. Stop signs. Why was the pedestrian one so much more?
Cause it has.
Those are interconnected, right?
They, communicate.
Right. These don't even communicate, so. It's
we
got
put
that,
up
right?
blinks, we put up the blinky light, just, yes, we.
Yeah,
Was the budget established for this?
Not for the specific.
so your motion currently is the way it's written.
Yeah, the enhanced.
Do you want to give direction to put money towards blinky lights right away? Other option is we could wait till budget time for that.
Either way. It's all gonna come down on how you guys vote, so I'm okay with putting some money towards.
One blinky light, I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
I'm thinking one should be suffice. What do you think?
Yeah, I think
try one and see how it works, right? If we tried one on that side that's really bad at the very beginning of where that yellow curve starts. If it works really well and we still have issues on the other side, and then we could put one on the other side too, right?
So what would you like to see for this motion? Do you want to see him attach a number to that?
Yeah, number.
What number would you like to attach to that $3,900 sign?
So would that number have to include
It would need to,
everything?
it would need to include painting for the line painting and for the other signage. Do you have a rough estimate?
So you're up to 10 grand.
What was the number for motion to begin with? If it was not gonna do that.
There was no number.
We haven't, because we were trying to get the direction of which way you wanted to proceed.
Do we want to?
So with risking sending it back to administration, you want them to come back with a number?
I'm at this point.
This isn't a terrible rush.
So then-
Right now, but
The motion would be number 2 with further to direct administration to provide a cost estimate and bring it back to council.
for the upgrades discussed.
But just because we vote on number 2 doesn't mean we forget number 1. Thank you.
Fair. Any other questions or comments? Everybody understand?
Just going to admin and coming back with a number
Right,
instead of just 10 grand.
correct.
Or just leave 5 minutes earlier.
You okay with your motion?
If you throw a number onto it, you're gonna have to come back if it exceeds that anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, well then we'll throw 10 grand on.
And then we don't need administration.
And then we don't need
And
it.
it's out of operation,
Okay,
and it's out of operations.
okay.
They
And my vote,
they always end up with a bunch of money left over.
At a cost of $10,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, everybody understand?
There's my.
Clear as mud. Okay,
To be funded from where?
Operations.
First thing we did.
He looks.
why not observe?
No, because there's always money in operation.
Where would you like it funded from, Matt?
Purchasing reserve.
Accumulated surplus?
I already did.
Any money,
I spent that money.
If that money's gone.
where accumulated surplus?
You wait. December, there'll be money left over.
Okay, well, I'll go with my accumulated surplus.
Okay. Option number 2.
Okay.
Up to $10,000 funded from accumulated surplus. Any other question? Everybody understand? Okay, all in favor? And opposed? That is carried. Request for proclamation, October 15th, 2026, Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Day.
I move receive for information.
See you, Michael.
Thanks. Dave,
I want to see you out there, 5 a.m.
I don't, I'll be sleeping.
Yeah, I won't see you.
Time for some block practice.
Yeah, put the red dot on them, that'll make them.
Okay, proclamation, October 15th. Dwight move for information, all in favor? And opposed? That is carried. Land use bylaw review. Somebody want to put the land use bylaw review? Okay. Oh, sorry.
Been called worse.
I don't know.
You better think that.
I'll move option 1.
Brady already moved.
Brady already
Yeah,
did.
sorry.
Somebody's.
I assume you moved option 1, Brady. Yes. Any discussion on this?
Well, yeah. So this is what we're talking about.
Yeah, you
This
might want
is
to talk.
What is So can I get an explanation as to how this is going to capture what I wanted?
So we have a number of items that we want to bring forward for consideration, bring in alignment with the IDP. We have some other housekeeping items that have come up in the last couple of years, potentially some reviewing some of the definitions. And then you had brought up the issue of potentially allowing shipping containers in the area by the youth center. So that would have to be brought forward for consideration whether or not we would like to have shipping containers in the district known as Special Community Service District. So that would be another thing for consideration. So there's a number of issues that we want to bring forward with this amendment.
So how long does this process take? Right, because like I wanna see things actually be getting done. And if we're going and constantly doing processes to get them done, it's kind of tying back to what Dwight was saying earlier, where it's just delaying things for so long, back to admin, back to admin, back to admin. But these are the back to admin for 1 month is another $600 our youth center is spending on storage that they wouldn't have to if we could get this process started. And if this has to happen regardless because of all these other things that we're talking about, sure. But the youth center could be something separate than this.
So the Municipal Government Act sets out the process for an amendment to the land use bylaw. Council does not have the authority just to pass a resolution to allow for a shipping container. It has to follow the process of the land use bylaw. In order to do an amendment to the land use bylaw, we need to follow that MGA process, which is typically first reading, and then we have to have a public hearing, and we have second and third reading. A easy amendment will take usually 60 to 90 days because we have to do certain advertising requirements, potentially reach out to the public. It's a legislative process that I need to follow. And so, yes,
understand that, but contracting ISL engineering and land sources to do so just for that doesn't need to happen. Like for all of them, it's going to be the easiest route, right? But it doesn't have to happen for just the individual youth center case.
we're wanting, I guess, to capture them all in one amendment to accommodate.
I completely understand the goal of what we're trying to do here. I understand the goal. But what I'm saying is we need to understand that the youth center is still paying the extra $500 a month every time. So however long this takes, if we can do them both, why can't we? If we could do the first reading, second reading, third reading,
So
public
based
engagement,
on,
whatever we have to do for the youth center's case, this can still happen.
council would need to direct administration to undertake or to initiate this.
I think that's kind of what I was trying to do.
It's
last
still
meeting.
going to take that 60 to 90 days.
Yeah.
And so we would need to know, is all the council wanting to adjust that district to accommodate shipping containers? That would be the first question, I guess.
Now, is that something, because this is an entirely different topic, is that something that's now gonna be have to added to the next meeting's agenda to talk about? Because like, I don't think anybody here knows exactly where we're gonna be zoning that to, like what information's being brought to us as to if we were to say, yes, the youth center can have a sea can in their backyard, here's the stipulations they have to follow. What area are we saying yes to? Because if that's giving a yes to Jim down on First Street, well, that's gonna change a lot of council votes here, right?
Right.
So like that should now be added to the next agenda. So now we're going on to 3 months with this issue. No progression anywhere here.
Again, I'll take direction from council on what they want to see.
Well, I guess what I'll say, Brady, is we didn't cause this problem.
No, not at all, but we can solve it or we
Well,
can try.
we could or we couldn't.
Yeah, but we could try.
Well, that's your opinion, okay? And that's how time flies. Like if we're gonna open up this thing every 3 months for one item, then that's just not that. If you're constantly changing your land use bylaw, you're just causing a whole bunch of angst out there for everybody, because I understand what you're trying to do. And it might even be a worthy cause, but we didn't gather up the stuff. We didn't all of a sudden need a storage yard to put the stuff. Somebody accepted the responsibility of this. Now, all of a sudden, it's an economic hardship. Well, that should have been something to be factored in at the start of the show.
And I don't think that if the economic hardship on them, like obviously they have budgeted to be paying their storage fees. But as a community, for something that does so much for our community and the youth within it, I think we would be able to try to help any way we can. And I think, you know, if.
I think we help in
have
50,000 a year.
if we
If
can
taxpayers
have
help 50,000 a year.
I wasn't done talking, like, sorry. If we can help by cutting $4,800 a year, why would we not? Buy something like that, if it's just one simple change. Regardless, this conversation we're having is not on this topic. It's an entirely different one. The issue that I'm having is this topic, this conversation that we're having could have been 2 meetings ago. Me and you still could have had our difference of opinions 2 meetings ago. So 2 months ago that this conversation we're having could have been discussed. It could have had direction, but now this is 3 months now that we've been sitting here with the same. We haven't got anywhere because I don't know. I've asked if this could be added to an agenda twice now.
I will say, sorry, Larry, I will say cans inside the town limits, especially near residential, is usually frowned upon. And when we go to a public hearing, I suspect there is going to be some complaints from neighbor houses.
That can all happen again.
I'm just saying, don't get your hopes up.
It's
That's
supposed to be
smooth
put on
sailing.
the agenda when it's brought forward from a councillor. It goes to the agenda and then we vote as councillors, whether that's something and the points that you have, the points that you have, the points I have, we all bring those together. It's not even a topic on the agenda yet. It hasn't got to that first point is what I'm getting at here.
Well, we're talking about right now, we could give direction today. Go ahead.
I think we're not disagreeing with you, Brady, but what we're looking for is a mechanism to do that. And it's hard to change for everything instantly. Like it moves at the speed of government and it just doesn't happen overnight. I think we want to accommodate you. It's just, we're looking for the mechanism to do that.
Yeah, and if that's the answer, I completely understand that. But I think, again, if this was on the agenda 2 months ago as asked, we would have had this exact discussion we're having right now to give that direction.
And I think.
Or to pummel it and say it's not happening.
I think unfortunately, when you're working in government, it takes longer than you were hoping for.
And I, you know, to be as clear as I possibly can, things were brought forward to administration and were on the agenda in that same time frame. They were brought forward to administration after the issue that I brought forward and on the agenda before mine. So
And
that's,
I
I just don't understand where the hang up is, I guess.
For me to comprehend this, I don't think the administration has a process to do a one-off. I think you have to go through a process like this.
When the land use bylaws opened up.
I think that's
Through the end.
I don't think there's a process to just do a one-off all over the place. I think you have to address it with something like this.
So you couldn't just do the first reading, second reading, third hearing, public engagement.
And just do one lot and not have it addressed through some mechanism. I'm not sure if you can do that.
You can make an application to amend the land use bylaw. With this amending a district though, there is more to it because you're looking at amending the entire district to add shipping containers. So then we need to take a little wider look at all the properties that are affected.
So what you're saying is they may have to designate the youth center as a specific district or something like that.
Or you may have to do that. That's
Yeah.
correct.
Direct control almost. Why can't they build?
And that's how you get around it, so that everybody doesn't have a sea contain can.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I wish I could help you, but I feel for you, but I don't know that there's a mechanism to do the one-off.
Maybe there's not.
And I did reach out in early June, I believe, with the zoning and with regards to that they could put up a shed of that type. That was an allowable use.
The shed is a very big difference. The can was a donation.
No, I am,
Given to them.
if we were in the back alley, I could tell you what to do, but we're at council, so.
Go ahead, Eric.
Along the lines of current discussion, Alicia, do we have that CCAN on Public Works still? Is it still there or is it being used? There was some communication back and forth that the Lions had access to one there years ago, and I wasn't sure if it was still there or not. There was some discussion back and forth if that is even still there.
Yes, there is one for the Lions Club.
There is. Okay, do we know if it's utilized by them?
We have not gotten that far with that.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
Curiosity, if that one isn't being utilized, let's say, could youth center temporarily use that one that's down there, just to help save on some
I
cost?
think they'd be all over that.
Because
Absolutely.
they'd have access to it 5 days a week, so.
Or even separate, so donated one down there besides that one.
and by the sound,
That
they
could be
really
good
don't
home
have
for it.
access to it that often. They store their Halloween stuff in there, right?
No, that's what the donation was. The original donation was all the Halloween stuff that came with the CCAN, right? So then that was all gonna get donated. I don't think they would have filled that CCAN with all the Halloween stuff. They probably would have sorted through it. They would have stored all their other sports equipment, all the things that they do, like whatever they just did, the Wake-a-thon or whatever, right? They store stuff like that in there. They have a lot of events that they do where they only use things once or twice throughout the year, where they have to pay the storage fees all year round for that thing, right? So if they had a CCAN anywhere or just a bigger storage unit,
That might be
That
better
they
to
didn't
place
have
that
to pay,
CCAN at the Mace Forest Yard.
$5,000 a year to have, it would be, right? Like, I just think what could the youth center do with $5,000 a year? A whole lot more than the average citizen, right? So we're not giving people like permission to go put a CCAN in their backyards. I would never bring that to the table, right? Like, it's for a bigger cause, so that's just, if there's more ideas like that CCAN that you are talking about, like those are all things that is why I wanted it added to the agenda, so we could have had that discussion. You guys could have all brought forward these ideas too. I think we're all in the same boat to trying to help, right? Helping the youth center, helping the library, whatever board you're on, you want to see the best for them. Well, I think the best for the youth center is not spending $5,000 a year on storage fees, right? That's the goal here, is to figure out how we can go around that. And if making a CCAN on their land is what we are able to do to help with that,
So if they can locate a CCAN on Miss Bower's property, do they get their own insurance for that, or does town insurance cover that kind of thing? Does Alliance have their own insurance on it, or
So
it might be a thing?
that would have to be explored a little bit further. Again, that Lions Club, C10 was into some of the staff down there.
Oh, okay, that's, yeah, been in the parking lot forever.
As well as require a development permit and authorization from the town to place it on there, if that's the case. I think when we discussed it, I think the preference was though to have it on site at the youth center. And
That's
so,
just what I brought forward.
right, so the other option wasn't explored any further.
Okay.
They go on the CCAN. Or they're paying $600 for storage for just the belongings.
yeah, they're just, everything is in storage. They have all their stuff's in storage.
So it's not a matter of just picking up that was.
But they would have to bring in all of their stuff from other storage units.
So I guess we could make a motion today to direct administration to look into Public Works CCAM option.
So then maybe if we would look at the two options, one is the consultant for doing
That's a legitimate. Yeah.
the amendment that was presented here.
Yeah.
on
And
the
then this
different
spin-off.
items. And then if you have a secondary one, yeah.
Well, right now we got Brady's option number one. So we can vote on that, and then maybe you want to make another motion after.
That was on the land use bylaw one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Did ISL give you any budget numbers or is this your budget number?
They did provide a budget number. It was just under 14,000.
And you told them the approximate scope?
And this would be them doing all of the public hearings and being in attendance for all of that because we
Have somebody?
Okay, you ready to vote on it for one, and then for two, are you ready to make another motion after? Okay, so I just want to make sure you're ready. Okay, option number one, to assess $15,000. All in favor? That is carried.
Second motion.
Yeah, good idea.
So the second motion will be to direct administration to further explore options for the youth center CCAN storage, I guess.
Youth Center CCAM issues.
Yeah.
There's a better word, but
Options, rezoning the land use bylaw options. Municipal works.
really think that will get a lot of pushback. I really do, but
I think you're right.
we can,
Whatever the case is, there's options. There's a
People
people.
will see.
even that apartment building do down and
Seniors.
Down at the yards or two, we put the line so you can right by the parking lot, we made a gate for it so that you can have unrestricted access without having to inconvenience any staff, so they had their own keyboard. Good access on the parking lot there.
if they have one, then maybe the library wants to CCAN on their property. Who knows?
I think we should just look at all of them.
Let's look at all options for sure. See what we can hash out.
And you tell the library, well, if you guys are gonna get out there and paint it all nice and make it.
Paint it, you're gonna slide it so it looks like something.
Exactly.
You're gonna spend some money on it if it gets free.
It's not free. The first 2 years of rent will go to beautifying the sea county.
Yeah, they will.
Or multiple options for these, for replacement of the subjects and plans, including, but not limited to the amendment to the land use bylaw. Placement of a C10 shipping container at the public works area.
That sounds like the essence of what you wanted to capture.
or mayor's Empress Drive.
No, we didn't get that. Okay, all in favor? And that is carried. Okay, 2025 financial report. Might want another award. Gonna have to increase the budget for a bigger shelf for them.
And for a bigger hat.
And a bigger hat?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know if they come
What-
bigger than that.
What I question is how can all these pie charts make it into this, but they can't make it into the back of a utility bill right around June, so the people know where their taxes went.
Was that a motion?
I told him trifolds 3 years running. I get one every year from Lethbridge. So, because that's why they charge me thousands of dollars more than Redcliff, but
Wait,
I get a trifold.
what motion did you make?
We have to send this off so Mike can get it.
What motion did you make?
Did somebody actually make that motion?
I don't think so.
And I would like to see the pie charts put into extra information in utility bills that nobody looks at anyway, but at least through there.
Was that a motion? I don't know.
Just make a most optional.
Ah, there we go. There's a motion. Now we can talk about it.
Amended?
As presented, the report?
Yeah, wasn't there also an amendment?
To include pie charts on our taxes. Okay, any other discussion on it? Seeing none, all in favor? That is carried. Okay, policy 52. Policy provision of services to properties outside of town limits. Minor changes. Councillor Backer,
Option number one.
option one. Okay, any discussion on this? Yeah, sigh. All approved, all in favor? That is carried. Policy 56, public notices and press media releases. So I had some questions on this one. It says, I know the intent of it, but it says, mayor or deputy mayor can make a media release.
No, or designate. Doesn't say deputy mayor, does it?
It says designate.
Oh, does it say designate?
You see it somewhere else.
There was two places where it did mention
The
that.
mayor
Or mayor.
or mayor designate.
Okay,
Oh,
Mayor or designate is the
in
one
under
place.
councillors in that paragraph.
It's under municipal manager.
Yeah, but there's also again under councilors.
Yeah.
It says deputy mayor right there, and it shouldn't.
Mayor,
Is that
deputy
what
mayor.
you're referring to?
yeah,
Yeah, that wasn't changed. That was left. Because here it's both times it's been changed. It's been mayor designate.
Don't really run deputies here, do we?
so we do.
We do.
Everybody has a name.
Every 8
Currently-
months,
Okay.
you become a deputy.
Currently, he's the deputy mayor. We take the newer councillors and put you on the end of the term,
Yeah.
just so that way you got some experience. Councilor Liebert was deputy mayor for the first 8 months.
Outstanding job too, by the way.
Outstanding, he was noticed.
Well done.
I learned lots by starting.
And I got a note here, it says board release, it just says mayor.
There's no deputy mayor or, well, for commissions or boards, the board chair or mayor. Right?
Trying to remind myself what I meant here. Let's be realistic, mayor or council.
The intent was if you and the deputy mayor were unavailable at any given time, I guess it would go to the next. And that's why the word designate was put in.
So that would be the designate.
Keep going until you find one.
So you think that it's fine the way it is then?
This one that was being looked at, that was probably the,
Yeah, like I said, I know the intent. Didn't think it was.
don't see the second one though.
So there's, under mayor, you just have mayor or designate.
Yes.
Then when you get to municipal manager,
Says mayor.
it says mayor or mayor designate. I don't know why you have to add the mayor twice, because up top you didn't.
No, just.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that can be crossed out. That's the only two places I know it talked about mayor designate. When it comes to boards, no boards can release information until they get permission.
Yeah.
And then it. has
Which I
to come
think I
to the
read
board
that
chair.
wrong, so I don't think I have an issue with that at all, just the first one. So, yeah,
So councilors is fine where it says deputy mayor, or should it say
Well,
designate there as well? Mayor or deputy mayor. Should it say designate in there instead, as they took deputy out of there as well.
But deputy is what it is, though.
But yeah, you're right.
but just to keep it consistent throughout the whole
Yeah.
policy.
Yeah.
It probably should be designate instead of deputy mayor.
So in this case, it is, it refers to a councillor acting independently though.
Yeah.
And then you would reach out to either yourself or the deputy. So,
Okay, that's if you're okay with it that way.
Okay, all right.
I've seen cases where they don't listen anyway.
Okay, that's all I have to say on that.
so Councillor Burns, would that be as amended?
You okay with those slight amendments? Okay, all right. All in favor? And that is carried. Policy 116, budget policy. Somebody want to move that? Thank you. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all in favor? That is carried. Okay, under other post special events report for information. Yeah, that's council. I saw Matt's fingers wiggling right after. Okay, any comments on that? I think Redcliff Days was a big success. Heard good things, yeah.
Other than the rain.
And yeah, tell me about it. And that's also more support in here that we give to Legion 2, by the way.
Yep.
So we do dinners with them. I think there's $2,000 for the one. Catered lunch for the next one. Anyways, all in favor? And opposed? I'm in favor. Okay. Nice smooth work. That is carried. On call report.
I move for receipt for information.
Thank you. Any comments on that? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Municipal manager report to council.
Information.
Do that. Any questions on that? Go ahead.
What was the verdict on the kids pool?
It's fixed.
Yeah, I know it's fixed, but
What was the damage?
The pipelines underneath the skimmers were cracked. Found additional damage on the larger pool, but that was rectified.
You speak a lot closer. Thank you.
I heard you.
We haven't talked about the school site for a while. Anything new there?
Yes, the architect has been selected,
Is that the bridge,
bridging consultant,
bridging consultant?
what's his name? Got a, anyway, he's been selected.
Okay, very good.
And I am working with MPE with regards to the subdivision application.
Okay. And then what about our portion? The road building, where are we with that?
That's just, we're waiting,
Yeah, okay.
we're waiting on that.
What's the next step that we're waiting on? Like I say, it's been a while.
The subdivision application we need to get through, and we were waiting for the consultant, and then we're waiting for the details on whether or not anything would have to be adjusted.
Okay. What's the name?
What's the company name though?
Okay, very good. Okay, any other questions of Shannon from the report? Okay, seeing none, Matt made the motion for information, all in favor? And that is carried. Council reports, anybody do anything fun this last month? Any fascinating things from your reports?
Very great book sale, made about $4,000.
They made $4,000 on a book sale?
They did great.
That was by donation only, right?
Mhm.
That was awesome.
They did great.
Good.
That surprised me. Holy cow. I would have expected $300.
They're right around $4,000.
Good for them.
Redcliff Days?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Anybody else have anything to report?
You started the Wickathon.
Did I store them in sea cans is what you were saying earlier?
Is that 48 or 24? Yeah, hours, the wake-a-thon. 24. Okay.
Be a tough one. We got high standards.
We did it once, yeah.
And look how you turned it.
Yeah, I turned into,
That how you lost your hair?
yeah, that's how I lost the hair.
Somebody want to move that for information then? Thank you, Counselor Backer. Nobody else has anything to say? Okay, all in favor for information? Carried. Landfill graphs.
Information.
Thank you, Larry. Any questions on that? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Council important meetings and events. Information, Eric. Anything missing? Seeing none, all in favor?
Move recess.
Eric for recess at 8:45 PM. All in favor of that? We have a 5-minute recess. All right. Okay, we've got a couple items that need motions. B, I got B and E.
I will make the motion for the circular agreement, option 1. Be or not to be?
Our marriage. Option 1, to accept the changes on the contract and authorize signing, yes.
Yep.
All in favor? That is carried. Is there any opposed?
Yeah, me.
Still carried. Enforcement matter.
I will make a motion that we have administration look into options such as caveats and stuff for trying to remedy these enforcement measures.
Can you make it sound smarter, Bonnie, please?
Please, wordsmith that.
Administration to proceed with undertaking of caveat.
Possibly look into it, just see what it all entails
Okay, so we're bringing.
and how successful it'll be.
Okay, so we're exploring our options.
Right, because you said you didn't want to do it instantly.
I would have to look back to see what the direction was from. Go, yes.
Well, then I could change my motion to just do it. If we didn't have any other things on the table.
There
which would you rather?
will be a cost.
Could be fairly minimal though.
There's always a cost.
Yeah, but $1,500 or something. Anyways, your motion is, you want to keep it the same?
Look into it, just in
Okay.
case it's stupid price.
Okay, that's fair. Everybody understand the motion? Okay, all in favor?
Just more taxpayers' money going
That
out the door.
Is carried. And would somebody like to adjourn us?
I'll make that motion.
Sorry, I heard Matt.
Aye.
Matt at 10:01, all in favor? We are adjourned.
Dyslexic numbers.
That's just it. Allen Road. Rate car.